What's up, guys? Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 1 match in the DND, or Dunsparces and Dragonites. Sorry this took so long. Finally got back from Christmas break to my apartment, and I'm trying to get a bunch of these videos out. So this week we were playing MidPokemaster and the Kentucky Torracats. I'll just quickly run through his team since it's been a while. His team is Mega Scizor, Gliscor, Haxorus, Sneasel, Girder, Clefable, Crobat, Blastoise, Dhelmise, Rotom-Heat, and Raichu. I noticed that Rotom-Heat and Raichu kind of run through my team because I have a wee bit of an electric weakness. Yeah, so looking at the team that he brought Rotom-Heat, which is very scary to my team, Crobat, Clefable, Gliscor, Haxorus, and Raichu. Just to run through my team a little bit, if you haven't watched my team builder, we are bringing physically defensive Akaberry, Ferrothorn, Fizdef, Leftovers, Alamomola, I think. We're bringing 4 coverage, Mega Medicham. We're bringing setup, I think it's SD 3 attack, Scolipede. We're bringing Scarf Chandelure and defensive Zapdos. It's definitely defensive. I can't remember what kind of Zapdos, but it's definitely going to be our lead. We're actually on the wrong side of this replay, so we'll just cover that as it goes. But yeah, I was not expecting to see the Raichu, and I see the Raichu, which is kind of a shock. I was expecting Sneasel, because Zygarde 10% destroyed his team, absolutely destroyed his team. Banded Zygarde 10%, absolutely decimated his team. Like it screwed him up in so many different ways. But he ended up not bringing Sneasel, which was my biggest fear because I didn't have a great Ice Shard switch in, and that was the thing that was threatening Zygarde 10%. So I'm regretting not bringing Zygarde now, because I'm pretty sure I could have absolutely destroyed his team with that. It completely bodies Crobat, completely bodies Raichu, completely bodies Rotom-Heat. The team that he brought, it absolutely decimates, because I don't see Mega Scizor, we don't see Girder, and we don't see Dhelmise, which are all the biggest threats to Zygarde 10% on his team, biggest defensive threats. So let's get right into this. I'm just going to lead with my Zapdos. I believe I lead with Zapdos. Can't remember what I lead with here. I'm going to lead with something. As he leads with Rotom-Heat, I do lead with Zapdos, and he's going to Volt Switch out. We see that he's faster. That should have clued me in that he was Scarfed, but I didn't really think about it because I was running no speed on Zapdos, I believe. And I'm actually going to Volt Switch out too, which gives me the momentum, as I'm going to go into my Scolipede to take on this Clefable. This is a roll right here, and Poison Jab does not get the roll or the poison. Obviously, it didn't matter if he was Magic Guard, but we take an unfortunate Flamethrower, which is 66, which is a lot of damage, when if we just got the roll, this Clefable would have been dead, and it wouldn't have been at 1 HP. I am just going to Poison Jab again here, take some more Life Orb Recoil, hitting the Gliscor, and I could have Aqua Tailed here. I believe I'm running Aqua Tail, but I decided it wasn't worth it because I couldn't kill it, so I'm going to go into Alamomola, which eats that Earthquake for breakfast. He's going to Protect, and I'm going to Scald. Just a wasted turn there. More healing. He's going into Raichu here, as I'm going to Wish, and we are going to go into our Zapdos to take whatever he wants to do. He is the standard Nasty Plot set. It can't do enough to me until he's +4, so I'm just going to Heat Wave here, hoping that I hit, because it's going to do the most damage to his Raichu, especially if he's Lightning Rod. I can't go for an Electric attack, because that'll boost him even further. So I'm going to go for the Heat Wave as he Nasty Plots again in my face. That does about 40. It's not terrible. Thunderbolt crit I don't believe mattered, but Life Orb puts him in a range that Chandelure Shadow Ball can kill him. So we take him out. Obviously we know he wasn't Scarfed. In comes Haxorus, as I'm going to go out into my Ferrothorn, which is running Thunder Wave. So I'm going to try and Thunder Wave this thing, as he clearly can't touch my Ferrothorn, and we pop his Lum. That's really bad actually, but he does switch into his Clefable here, as I got a T-Wave off. Haxorus living and not being crippled there is really bad, and Ferrothorn's going to pick off the Clefable with Iron Head there. Now Rotom-Heat basically gets a kill for free on my Ferrothorn. It was a roll for me to live with the Akaberry there, because he wasn't Specs, but Medicham hopefully can clean this up. Overheat does absolutely nothing at -2. And I'm going to Zen Headbutt. Drain Punch was the best play there, but I ended up not going for it. And Zen Headbutt was a roll to kill. Another Overheat would have killed me, and it wasn't worth it for me to take more damage on Medicham, so I just go into Aloe. As he goes into Crobat, first Scald, no burn. Crobat's going to be an issue in a bit here. as he gets a Toxic off of my Almamole. Obviously he's a poison type, so he hits that 100% of the time. I'm still sort of like fishing for a burn with some Scalds here, and now we're going to 1v1 the Gliscor fairly poorly. Scald's doing about 30, that's like pretty good. The Toxic's eventually just going to wear us down, but I'm getting the Gliscor into a range where he's low enough that Mega Medicham can clean it up, hopefully. So I'm just sort of like Wish Protect stalling here as the Toxic's eventually going to take me out, but I'm going to Scald him again. And I believe it just gets to the point where I wanted to get a Wish into my Mega Medicham before my Almamole died. I'm surprised this Gliscor is not taking these Scalds very well, because Almamole has a very poor special attack stat. So it shows me he's more of a physically defensive Gliscor. It still doesn't take an Ice Punch from my Mega Medicham, but yeah, as you can see, the Wish goes down. And here's my Mega Medicham, as he's protected already. So we get to full HP with Mega Medi, and Gliscor is dead. Crobat would kill me with a Brave Bird, so I decided to sack the Scolipede, which isn't really doing much for the rest of the game anyways. Can't outspeed the Scarf Rotom, can't outspeed the Haxorus at +1. In comes Chandelure. I'm going to take this thing out with 2 Shadow Balls here. And then after that, the game is basically over, to be completely honest. I don't have anything to OHKO this Haxorus with except an Ice Punch, and I don't live a +1 Dragon Claw with Mega Medicham, so it's pretty much over after he gets the Dragon Dance off. Really good play, sorry, Outrage, not Dragon Claw. Really good play on Mid's part. Really good prep with the Lumberry. I'm kind of sad that we ended up losing because I think I played fairly well actually. If I had Bullet Punch on Mega Medicham, it would have been a different game because Rotom was at like 4%. Obviously I didn't have that, so that was quite unfortunate. But I did have to run Fire Punch to cover for the Mega Scizor, so I don't regret not having priority because it meant that I prepped well enough for the Mega Scizor. That's pretty much the game, and I'm gonna head off to record our Week 2 match because that happened as well. Yeah, so we actually finished Week 1 in first place in our division because everybody in our division lost, and we lost the best? We lost the best? We lost only with a -2 differential, and everyone lost by -3 or more. I think someone even got 6-0'd. So while it wasn't the most productive first week, it ended up being still a fairly good first week. So yeah, that was our battle against MidPokemaster and the Kentucky Torracats. Week 2 we take on the AFC Ariados, so that will be coming out pretty much right after this anyways. Anyways, have a good day guys. See you for the next match.